Manoa, what if the secrets of ancient history have been hidden, not by time, but by design? Beneath the surface of every towering pyramid, beneath the intricate carvings of the Mayan temples, lies a question that modern scholars refuse to answer. How did these ancient civilizations possess knowledge that would take us thousands of years to discover? The pyramids of Egypt, precision built to align with the stars, the mathematical genius of the Maya, the eerie similarities between ancient structures across continents, could all be the remnants of something far more mysterious than we've been led to believe. These civilizations didn't just build, they calculated, they predicted, they understood the cosmos in ways we can only begin to comprehend. But where did they get this knowledge? Some historians argue that the origins of these incredible feats remain human, while others suggest that these civilizations may have been touched by forces from beyond our world. From celestial alignments to mythical gods who descended from the sky, the evidence for extraterrestrial involvement is woven deeply into the very fabric of these ancient societies. Was the rise of these ancient cultures truly a result of human brilliance, or were they guided by beings from the stars? As we journey through time, prepare to challenge everything you thought you knew about human history. The truth might be far stranger and more shocking than we've been taught. Welcome to Ancient Civilizations, Ancient Aliens. The history you've been taught? It's only a shadow of the truth. What if every major achievement of humanity was not a result of human ingenuity, but a gift from beings who came from the stars? For centuries, we've been told that ancient civilizations like Egypt, the Maya, and Sumer were pioneers of human development. But what if those stories were deliberately crafted to hide a deeper, far more extraordinary truth? What if these civilizations weren't the first to reach greatness, but the second or even the third? What if the Great Pyramids of Egypt weren't just tombs for kings, but monumental markers left by an advanced race? What if the Maya, who calculated the movements of stars with pinpoint precision, didn't invent their knowledge, but were instead taught by extraterrestrial visitors? Could the ancient gods, those who descended from the heavens, have been more than myth? Could they have been visitors from another world? In this documentary, we won't just examine the well-known achievements of ancient civilizations. We will peel back the layers of history to expose the truth that has been concealed, manipulated, and forgotten. What if the world's greatest civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Maya, didn't rise on their own? What if they were influenced, shaped, and even guided by forces not of this earth? This journey will take you beyond the accepted narratives of history. As we explore ancient monuments, symbols, and astronomical knowledge, we will uncover startling evidence that challenges the very foundation of everything you've been taught. From ancient texts and sacred symbols to the design of colossal pyramids, we will explore the possibility that humanity's greatest achievements were not born of human minds alone. Let's look at history through a new lens, where every triumph, from the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza to the celestial calculations of the Maya, wasn't simply the result of human progress. Imagine if these civilizations were guided by something otherworldly. What if they had help from extraterrestrial beings who not only shared knowledge, but may have been instrumental in shaping our very history? We'll journey through the ruins of ancient temples, explore enigmatic symbols, and examine the astronomical knowledge that has baffled scholars for centuries. But we won't stop at just uncovering human achievement. We'll delve deep into the possibility that these ancient cultures had contact with alien civilizations, leaving behind a trail of evidence that mainstream history refuses to acknowledge. What if I told you that the Great Pyramid of Giza's alignment with the stars of Orion's belt is so precise that it would be impossible to achieve with the technology available to ancient Egyptians? Mainstream archaeology claims it was built using primitive tools, but modern engineers can barely replicate the pyramid's precision. Could this have been the work of an advanced extraterrestrial intelligence? What if the pyramid was designed to communicate with the stars, perhaps as a beacon for beings who once walked among us? Let's dive into the Mayan calendar, a masterpiece of astronomical prediction. The Maya tracked the movements of Venus with accuracy that still stuns astronomers today. Some have speculated that their knowledge came from their gods, but could those gods have been extraterrestrials imparting forbidden knowledge? What if their celestial knowledge was shared with them by visitors from another world? Knowledge so advanced it remains incomprehensible to us today. This documentary will ignite your curiosity and challenge everything you've been told. We'll take you on a ride through history's greatest mysteries, revealing truths that have been buried for centuries. These civilizations weren't just advanced, they were guided by the cosmos itself. But more than that, it will spark a sense of urgency. The ancient past is not just a collection of forgotten stories, it's the key to unlocking our future. The hidden truths of our history are waiting to be uncovered. And once we do, everything we thought we knew about the origins of humanity may be turned upside down. Are you ready to challenge everything you've ever believed? The secrets buried in the sands of Egypt, in the jungles of Mesoamerica, and in the cities of Sumer have waited long enough. In this documentary, we won't just uncover the mysteries of ancient civilizations. We'll expose the shocking possibility that our ancestors were not alone. They were guided, they were influenced, and they may have been visited by beings from the stars. As we embark on this journey, prepare to have your understanding of history shattered, your sense of wonder ignited, and your curiosity about the past forever changed. The truth is out there, and it might just be far stranger than we've ever imagined. What if everything we've been taught about ancient history was designed to conceal the truth? What if aliens, yes, beings from other worlds, played a direct role in the rise of our earliest civilizations? Imagine this. Over 4,000 years ago, the Egyptians constructed the Great Pyramid of Giza, an architectural feat that defies explanation. Even with today's technology, no one has been able to replicate it. But what if this pyramid wasn't just a tomb for a pharaoh? What if it was a beacon, a signal to an extraterrestrial intelligence, an alien message encoded into stone, sent to us from a distant star system? Let's take it further. Imagine the ancient Maya, without telescopes or modern instruments, tracking Venus and mapping out celestial events that would take modern astronomers years to confirm. How did they know these things? Was it a product of their own genius, or did the knowledge come from the stars? Now think of Sumer, the cradle of civilization, where the first system of writing, cuneiform, was developed. They didn't just write. They created an entire culture based on astronomical cycles, much more sophisticated than anything in the West at the time. But what if these advancements weren't born from human curiosity alone? What if these ancient people were taught by extraterrestrial beings who had been here long before? Thousands of years ago, civilizations emerged on Earth. Civilizations that didn't just invent tools or build cities. They calculated the heavens. They mapped out the cosmos with an accuracy that should have been impossible for their time. In Sumer, the world's first city-states, vast ziggurats, step pyramids that touch the sky, were constructed with mathematical precision. But how did they know to build them so perfectly? And why, in an age where writing had just been invented, did they craft celestial systems with such detail? Egypt, with its breathtaking pyramids, not only built monuments of stone, but of purpose. These monuments align perfectly with the stars, suggesting that their purpose was more than mere burial. Could they have been meant to communicate with beings beyond our world? And in Mesoamerica, the Maya didn't just predict the movement of stars. They understood cosmic cycles that modern scientists are still unraveling. But again, the question remains, how? The answers may be stranger than we've ever imagined. These civilizations may have been far more connected to the cosmos and perhaps to extraterrestrial life than we realize. Sumer. The Sumerians didn't simply invent the wheel. They also created the first known system of writing, cuneiform, which encoded complex knowledge. Their ziggurats, towering step pyramids, weren't just buildings. They were meant to reach the heavens. These structures aligned precisely with the stars, yet no one knows how they did it. Modern engineers can't even replicate the precision of the ziggurat of Ur with all our technology. So where did this knowledge come from? Could it have been shared with them by advanced beings from another world? Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza is an enigma. It is built to align with Orion's belt in the cardinal directions to an accuracy that modern-day engineers cannot replicate. It's not just a tomb, it may be a beacon pointing to the stars. The Egyptians didn't just worship gods. They built their temples and pyramids as celestial instruments. Could they have had help from advanced extraterrestrials who guided their knowledge of the cosmos? But here's the catch. No one really knows how these ancient builders could calculate such precise measurements without modern tools. Could this feat be the result of forgotten technology or divine intervention from the stars? Maya. The Maya knew more about the stars than any civilization before them. Their long count calendar was so precise, it could predict solar and lunar eclipses, the rise of Venus, and other celestial events thousands of years in advance. These calculations were so accurate that NASA's astronomers used the Maya calendar as a reference. But how did a civilization without telescopes or computers achieve this? The Maya were obsessed with Venus, the morning star, and used it as the cornerstone of their timekeeping systems. They crafted elaborate stone carvings depicting beings from the stars. Could this fascination with the cosmos be a result of extraterrestrial knowledge passed down from an ancient contact with beings from other worlds? Here's the critical question. What if these civilizations didn't just develop this knowledge on their own? What if, instead, they were guided by beings who came from the stars, beings whose technology and wisdom were far beyond anything humanity could have created on its own? The monuments, the knowledge, the myths, all point to a singular truth. These civilizations were not working in isolation. Their achievements had to have been shared, possibly through direct contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at the Great Pyramid of Giza and examine startling evidence that suggests it may not have been built as a tomb, but as a message to the stars. And we'll explore the possibility that the ancient Egyptians weren't alone in this endeavor. They were part of a much bigger cosmic network. Wait, before we continue, what if everything you've been told about the Great Pyramid is wrong? What if it's not just a tomb, but a gateway to something far more mysterious? Like this video if you're feeling the shock. Subscribe because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Comment below with your thoughts. Was the pyramid truly just a tomb, or is there a hidden cosmic message within? Share this video. The truth about ancient history might just change everything you thought you knew. What if the Great Pyramid of Giza wasn't just built to honor a dead king, but as a gateway to something far beyond our world? Let that sink in. This ancient marvel, built 4,500 years ago, is not just an engineering feat. It could be a message we still haven't fully understood. You've been told it was just a tomb, But what if that's the lie they want you to believe? Imagine standing in front of a monument that defies everything we know about the ancient world. A pyramid so precisely constructed that even modern architects can't replicate it, and aligned to the stars with an accuracy no ancient civilization should have been capable of. How did they do it? The Great Pyramid of Giza, at over 481 feet tall, is more than just a burial site. Its secrets are buried beneath centuries of sand, and the most unsettling truth? It may have been built to communicate with something, someone beyond this world. Let's start with the facts. The Great Pyramid was built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, 2580 BCE. This monumental structure, constructed with 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons, seems impossible to build with the tools available at the time. And yet, it was completed with such precision that even today, engineers are left scratching their heads. You've heard it before. It was meant to be a tomb. But here's the kicker. Why was it built so precisely? Every stone, every angle, every alignment has one purpose. And it wasn't simply to house the dead. Could it have been built to send a message? The alignment with Orion's belt is perfect. But the question is, how did the Egyptians know? How did they know to align the pyramid with stars that wouldn't even be observable from Earth without modern telescopes? These ancient builders couldn't have seen them with the naked eye. So why did they build the pyramid to mirror Orion, the constellation associated with Osiris, the god of resurrection? And let's not forget the mathematical precision of the Great Pyramid. It contains a built-in pi ratio, a precise formula for the Earth's circumference, and an understanding of geometry and physics that defy our expectations. Did these ancient people really come up with this on their own? Or was it given to them? Let's go deeper. The pyramid's location isn't a random choice either. Placed at the exact center of the Earth's landmass, it sits perfectly aligned with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. It's positioned so perfectly that the ancient Egyptians could only have done this with knowledge that, today, we attribute to advanced modern engineering. Here's where it gets really interesting. What if this was no accident? What if this alignment wasn't just symbolic or religious, but part of something far more profound, an ancient technology built to reach beyond the stars? Think about it. If the Egyptians were trying to send a message, who were they trying to communicate with? And how could they have known to align such a massive structure with Orion's belt, a constellation so far from the Earth that modern-day scholars are still struggling to explain its importance in ancient Egypt? The more we uncover, the more it looks like this was no ordinary tomb. This was a message encoded into the very fabric of the pyramid's design. Could it have been built as a signal to the heavens, to extraterrestrial visitors, or even to gods who had once walked this earth? As Dr. Zahi Hawass, one of the most respected Egyptologists in the world, explains, the Great Pyramid was a tomb, no more, no less. But ancient astronaut theorists argue differently. Giorgio Tsoukalos, a leading figure in this field, believes that the precision and alignments found in the pyramid go far beyond human capability, suggesting that extraterrestrial beings played a role in its construction. Is it possible that the pyramid was more than just a burial site for a pharaoh? Could it have been a beacon, a cosmic communication device designed to send messages to the stars? If we look closely at the evidence, it seems the Egyptians were not just aligning their pyramid with the stars. They were sending a message to the stars. Through CGI reconstructions, we can begin to visualize the pyramid's internal chambers. These chambers were designed not only to house the dead, but to send something, perhaps energy, perhaps information. The king's chamber contains a granite sarcophagus, but did you know its exact dimensions and shape mirror those of a radio transmitter? As we peer into the pyramid's inner structure, we see hidden connections to the stars, links that suggest this was more than just an architectural masterpiece. It may have been an ancient stargate, built to send or receive messages across the cosmos. Here's the question that we're left with. Was the Great Pyramid of Giza a tomb, or was it something else entirely? Something that humanity was never meant to discover. A beacon, a signal sent to the stars, a message to extraterrestrial beings that we are only just beginning to understand. The Great Pyramid could be more than just a relic of the past. It could be the key to unraveling a truth that has been hidden for millennia. And as we begin to uncover this truth, the stakes become much higher. Are we the first to reach out to the stars? Or were we part of something much bigger, something ancient, something forgotten? In the next section, we'll look at other ancient structures that share the same mysterious alignments. Could the Nazca lines in Peru or the Stonehenge in England also be part of a hidden message, one that spans the entire globe? Are we looking at a network, an ancient map to the stars, that we have only begun to uncover? The Maya, masters of time and the heavens. What if the ancient Maya didn't just predict the future? They knew it. And what if their astonishing knowledge of the stars didn't come from any earthly source, but from visitors beyond the stars themselves? For centuries, we've been told the Maya were extraordinary stargazers, capable of calculating the cycles of Venus and tracking the passage of time with startling precision. But here's the catch. How did they do it? Without telescopes, without modern technology, how could a civilization that existed over 1,000 years ago see the cosmos in ways we can barely comprehend today? The truth is, the Maya didn't just observe the stars, they mapped them. They understood celestial patterns with a level of accuracy that would only be matched by modern science. But they did it without the tools or knowledge we now possess. And here's the real kicker. What if this knowledge wasn't just a result of their own ingenuity? What if it was given to them? The Maya are known for their long count calendar, which tracked time with staggering precision. But their knowledge went far beyond simple dates. The Maya calculated the movements of Venus with a level of accuracy that even today, modern astronomers struggle to replicate. Their ability to predict solar eclipses, lunar cycles, and planetary alignments was unparalleled. However, this wasn't just a calendar. It was a guide to the cosmos. The Maya believed that the movements of the stars controlled the fate of humankind. Their entire civilization was built around the stars, and their most sacred rituals were based on the observation of celestial bodies. Yet no one can explain how they achieved this with primitive tools. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Maya weren't just exceptional, they were unnaturally advanced in their understanding of the heavens. And then there's the prophecy. In the Maya long count calendar, December 21st, 2012 marked the end of a cycle, a turning point in their cosmic understanding. It was a date that caused panic, fascination, and global hysteria. But what did the Maya truly believe? Was it the end of the world? Or was it the end of a cycle, a cosmic reset that only the Maya understood? The Maya didn't view this as a doomsday prophecy. They believed it marked the beginning of a new era, one that was inextricably linked to rare cosmic alignments that occur only once every 26,000 years. But here's where it gets really strange. This rare alignment didn't just happen in 2012. It marked the convergence of the Earth, Sun, and the galactic center, an event that aligns the entire solar system with the center of the Milky Way. Was this just a coincidence? Or did the Maya know something the rest of the world didn't? This is where things get unsettling. Erich von Däniken, a leading theorist in ancient astronaut theory, argues that the level of astronomical precision displayed by the Maya simply can't have been achieved by a civilization with no advanced tools. Modern scientists can't explain how the Maya could predict cosmic cycles so accurately with just naked eye observations and rudimentary tools. So the question remains, was this knowledge given to them by extraterrestrial visitors? It's a chilling thought. What if the Maya were part of an ancient galactic network? What if they were in contact with beings who understood the stars in ways far beyond human capability? To truly understand the Maya's celestial knowledge, we need to see it for ourselves. Through CGI and animations, we'll take you through their star maps, showing how their calendar systems align with distant stars, planets, and even the galactic center. These weren't random observations. They were part of an intricate map to the cosmos, one that spanned thousands of years and accurately predicted the movements of Venus, Mars, and the Sun. And here's the shocker. What if this wasn't just knowledge they developed on their own? What if their obsession with Venus was not just a cultural quirk, but a deliberate attempt to communicate with extraterrestrial visitors? The key question that no one dares to ask: could the Maya have been receiving their knowledge from beyond the stars? What if their calendar wasn't just a tool for tracking time, but a cosmic map? A message from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization that communicated through the stars? In the next section, we'll explore other ancient civilizations, like the Egyptians and Sumerians, that also had astonishing knowledge of the stars. Could they too have been receiving guidance from extraterrestrials? What if the Maya weren't alone in their cosmic knowledge, and their secret was just the beginning of an even larger, galaxy-spanning mystery? The gods who came down, the Quetzalcoatl enigma. What if the ancient gods weren't gods at all? What if they were extraterrestrial beings who came from the heavens, disguised as divinities, only for us to misinterpret their true purpose? For centuries, we've been told that gods like Quetzalcoatl were mythical beings, powerful, divine creatures who brought knowledge and civilization to humanity. But what if we've been wrong? What if Quetzalcoatl was not a god, but a visitor from another world? A being whose technology was so advanced that it was perceived as divine? Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god, was one of the most venerated deities of the Aztecs, Toltecs, and Maya. But what do we really know about him? Was he truly a divine entity, or something far more alien? To the Aztecs, Quetzalcoatl was seen as a creator god who brought wisdom, art, and civilization to the people. His arrival was often marked by celestial events, with gods descending from the heavens in what could only be interpreted as flying crafts. But there's something strange about these stories. Why do so many ancient cultures across Mesoamerica share similar myths about gods coming down from the sky? Could Quetzalcoatl's descent from the heavens actually represent an extraterrestrial landing? The feathered serpent motif is an interesting one, a creature that can traverse both the earth and sky, represented with wings and serpentine features. Now, what if the wings were not metaphorical? What if they depicted a craft capable of flight? Could Quetzalcoatl have actually arrived in a spaceship, a flying craft misunderstood by ancient people as a divine apparition? To the Maya, Quetzalcoatl's descent from the heavens wasn't just symbolic. Their star maps depict a being descending from the sky, riding in a chariot-like craft, with beings who were described as tall, elongated, and sometimes with unusual features, much like modern accounts of alien encounters. But here's where the mystery deepens. Could these depictions have been actual encounters with extraterrestrial visitors? Or were they simply myths passed down through generations? Dr. Robert Temple, a leading researcher in ancient civilizations, points out something fascinating. In ancient cultures worldwide, gods were frequently described as beings who descended from the sky, often in flying ships. Is it possible these gods were actually extraterrestrial visitors who landed on Earth, offering the Nazca lines, messages to the heavens? What if the Nazca lines are more than just symbols carved into the Earth? What if they were designed to communicate with beings who could see the Earth from the sky, beings who may not be of this world at all? For decades, historians have been puzzled by the Nazca lines, massive, mysterious geoglyphs etched into the Peruvian desert. At first glance, they seem like mere artistic creations. But here's the problem. They were designed to be seen from the air. And the Nazca people didn't have planes. Who were they meant for? The gods? Or something far stranger? The Nazca lines, spanning over 50 miles in the Nazca Desert of Peru, have perplexed archaeologists for over a century. These massive geoglyphs, figures of monkeys, hummingbirds, spiders, and geometric patterns, are large enough to be seen only from above. Some of these patterns stretch over 1,200 feet, a size that would be impossible to appreciate from the ground. For years, scholars assumed the lines were created for religious reasons, meant to be seen by gods in the sky. They were religious offerings, a way for the Nazca culture to send prayers or seek divine intervention. But here's the catch. Why make them so large, so intricate, and so precise that they could only be seen from above? And more importantly, who could see them from the sky? Could it be that these lines were never meant for gods, but for something far more extraordinary? What if the Nazca lines were a message to extraterrestrials, designed to be visible only from a spaceship? Mainstream archaeologists argue the lines were meant to be seen by gods, divine beings who presumably would descend from the sky. But let's take a step back and think about this. Who were the gods the Nazca people were trying to reach? Was it really about gods, or was it something else? Something from the stars? Ancient cultures across the globe have stories of beings descending from the sky, often accompanied by advanced knowledge or technology. Could the Nazca lines be part of a similar tradition, an ancient attempt to communicate with extraterrestrials who arrive from above? The question is unsettling. Were these lines designed to be seen by gods or aliens? Here's where it gets even stranger. Erich von Däniken, the pioneering researcher behind the ancient astronaut theory, has long argued that the Nazca lines were never meant for gods. They were beacons, signals for extraterrestrials who could see from the sky. But Dr. Maria Bolivar, a modern archaeologist, raises an unsettling point. What if these patterns weren't just random geometric shapes, but intentional markers designed to be seen from above, by something flying in the sky? The shapes themselves align with solar events and constellations in ways that make no sense for a civilization that had no telescopes or airplanes. Could these patterns be coordinates, guiding alien ships to specific locations on Earth? So here's the real question. Were the Nazca lines really religious symbols, or were they alien signals? Could the Nazca people have understood something we don't? Could these ancient geoglyphs have been part of a galactic communication system, designed to be visible only from above, signaling extraterrestrial visitors or marking cosmic coordinates? The mystery deepens when we consider the size and accuracy of the lines. They're too large and complex to have been accidental. They weren't just drawn by ancient people. They were carefully calculated, possibly with knowledge passed down from an advanced civilization or extraterrestrials. But here's where the story gets even more unsettling. The Nazca lines aren't the only mysterious markers scattered across the globe. In the next section, we'll explore other ancient sites, from Stonehenge to the pyramids of Giza, and their strange alignments with cosmic events. Could they all be part of the same galactic communication system? And if so, who were the messages really meant for? Could it be that the Nazca lines were simply one piece of a larger alien map hidden across the Earth, waiting to be uncovered? The Sumerians, the birth of civilization or alien intervention? What if everything you know about the birth of civilization is a lie? What if the Sumerians didn't create civilization on their own, but with help from beings who arrived from the stars? In the heart of Mesopotamia, humanity's first civilization suddenly emerged, with knowledge and technology far beyond what should have been possible for its time. The Sumerians invented writing, established laws, and built the first cities. But what if all of this wasn't their doing? What if their gods, the Anunnaki, were extraterrestrials who came to Earth and changed the course of human history forever? The Sumerians' rapid advancement was so dramatic, so unexpected, it makes you wonder, could they have been guided by a force not of this world? The Sumerians emerged around 3,500 BCE and immediately became the most advanced civilization on Earth. In a time when most societies were still in their infancy, they built cities, invented writing, and established sophisticated systems of governance, law, and mathematics. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the first works of literature, was written in cuneiform, a script that the Sumerians developed, effectively creating the first form of written communication. The Sumerians didn't stop there. They also created the ziggurats, massive step pyramids, dedicated to their gods, the Anunnaki. These structures were not just religious temples, they were engineering marvels that required an understanding of advanced mathematics and geometry, knowledge that seemed to come out of nowhere. But the most pressing question is, how did a primitive society suddenly gain such advanced knowledge? The Sumerians were clear about one thing. Their gods were the Anunnaki, beings who came down from the heavens. The Anunnaki were described as possessing knowledge far beyond the capabilities of the Sumerians, especially in the realms of astronomy and agriculture. But here's the most unsettling part. These gods didn't come from the clouds. They came from the sky, descending in flying crafts. The Sumerians described their gods as beings with advanced technology, and they were shaped like humans, though with otherworldly powers. Could these gods have been visitors from another planet? Zecharia Sitchin, a controversial theorist, argues that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrials from a planet in our solar system called Nibiru. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki didn't just teach the Sumerians. They genetically modified early humans to create a workforce capable of mining gold on Earth. The question is, could Sitchin's interpretation be more than just theory? Could the Anunnaki have been real extraterrestrial visitors who fundamentally shaped our civilization? While mainstream historians dismiss Sitchin's claims as pseudoscience, his theory has garnered a growing following, with evidence from ancient texts suggesting the Sumerians didn't just worship gods. They described their gods in ways that sound far more like aliens. According to Dr. Michael Heiser, ancient language expert, the word Anunnaki translates to those who came down from heaven. But could this reference to the heavens actually be a description of alien ships? The Epic of Gilgamesh describes the hero's interaction with gods who seem to possess knowledge of the future and the stars. In the context of Sumerian astronomy, this could very well be evidence of advanced knowledge given by extraterrestrials. But here's the twist. What if Sumerian myths weren't just symbolic? What if they were documenting real encounters with beings who came from the sky? Beings whose technology and knowledge were so far ahead of what the Sumerians could understand that they interpreted them as divine. So here's the crux of the mystery. Were the Anunnaki gods, or were they alien visitors? The Sumerians spoke of beings who descended from the sky, beings who gave them advanced knowledge, such as the creation of the first cities in the earliest forms of writing. Could these gods really have been extraterrestrial beings with advanced technology? Consider the possibility. What if humanity's first leap into civilization was not due to human ingenuity, but to alien intervention, a cosmic push to get humanity on its feet? But the Anunnaki weren't the only ones who might have had their hand in shaping human civilization. In the next section, we'll look at other ancient cultures, from Egypt to the Americas, and examine whether their gods could have been extraterrestrial visitors as well. Were the Egyptian pyramids and Mayan temples part of a larger intergalactic network of communication, linking humanity to beings from another world? Stay tuned to find out what ancient texts are hiding about our true origins. Ancient alien theorists, challenging the boundaries of history. What if humanity's greatest achievements, our cities, our writing, our advanced technologies, weren't the product of human ingenuity alone? What if they were given to us by beings from the stars who arrived long before we ever imagined? Imagine a world where aliens, not gods, were responsible for the birth of civilization. Imagine that everything we've been taught about our ancient past is a distortion, a myth built by those who didn't want us to remember the truth, that we were guided by extraterrestrial visitors. For centuries, historians have pored over the Sumerian tablets, Mayan codices, and Egyptian pyramids, trying to unlock the mysteries of ancient civilizations. But what if the answer has been staring us in the face this whole time? What if the gods were really aliens and humanity's progress wasn't natural, but the result of cosmic intervention? Around 3,500 BCE, in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, the Sumerians appeared. Out of nowhere, they began building ziggurats, establishing the first cities, and developing cuneiform, the first written language. Soon after, Egyptians constructed the pyramids, and the Maya developed an incredibly accurate calendar that still baffles modern scientists. But how did this happen? How did these societies suddenly leap forward, leaving behind structures, texts, and artifacts that seem to defy logic and time? How could they possess knowledge and technology that no other cultures could match? Could this rapid advancement be the work of extraterrestrials, beings who came from the stars to guide humanity? Here's the shocker. The Sumerians themselves said their gods were beings from the sky, the Anunnaki, who descended from another world. The Egyptians claimed their gods came from the heavens. The Maya believed their gods gave them the wisdom to track the stars. Could these gods have been alien visitors who shaped humanity's development? The theories presented by Erich von Däniken, Giorgio Tsoukalos, and David Childress challenge everything we think we know about history. They argue that ancient civilizations didn't build their wonders by themselves. Instead, they were assisted by extraterrestrials who had advanced technology and knowledge. Skeptics argue that these ideas are pure fantasy. But what if they aren't? What if the myths from the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Mayan creation stories, and the Egyptian pantheon are not just stories, but accounts of real extraterrestrial encounters? Consider the Mayan calendar, which is so accurate it predicted solar eclipses and even the alignment of the stars. How could a culture without telescopes, without modern tools, know so much about celestial movements? Was it simply human ingenuity, or were they aided by beings from the stars? Zecharia Sitchin proposed a theory that the Anunnaki came from a distant planet in our solar system called Nibiru, and that they came to Earth to mine gold and genetically modify humans for labor. The sudden advancements in human civilization were, according to Sitchin, a result of extraterrestrial influence. Giorgio Tsoukalos and David Childress have expanded on this theory, suggesting that the gods in ancient cultures were actually alien beings, and the pyramids, ziggurats, and other megalithic structures were built under their guidance. Mainstream scholars reject these theories, but the evidence is hard to ignore. How did ancient cultures possess knowledge that seems far beyond their means? What if this theory isn't just a wild fantasy? What if the extraterrestrial theory offers the most plausible explanation for humanity's sudden leap into advanced civilization? Are we looking at an alternative history, one where extraterrestrial beings played a crucial role in shaping humanity? Could the gods of ancient mythologies be alien visitors who brought knowledge to primitive cultures? And if so, what role did these visitors play in human history? Could the advanced technology the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Maya possessed be the leftover knowledge from alien visitors? A technology that humanity couldn't possibly have developed on its own? But this is just the beginning. In the next section, we'll explore other evidence that suggests ancient extraterrestrial visitors might have left a mark on civilizations around the world. From Easter Island's stone heads to Stonehenge, could these structures also be part of an ancient extraterrestrial map, guiding humanity to its future? Could there be an intergalactic network of ancient structures that, when pieced together, could reveal the true history of human civilization? One that we've only just begun to understand? Unsolved mysteries and new discoveries. What if the next archaeological discovery doesn't just uncover a forgotten civilization? What if it uncovers a hidden truth about humanity's origins? One that will force us to question everything we thought we knew about ourselves and our place in the cosmos. We've long believed that human civilization rose from prehistoric tribes, developing over thousands of years through trial, error, and ingenuity. But new discoveries suggest that this story may be far more complicated and far darker than we ever imagined. What if alien visitors from beyond our world played a pivotal role in shaping humanity's greatest achievements? What if our history wasn't a gradual evolution, but a leap forward driven by forces beyond Earth? In recent years, the advent of LIDAR technology has revolutionized archaeology. Laser mapping has uncovered hidden cities and lost civilizations buried beneath the dense jungles of Central America, South America, and even Southeast Asia. The most shocking discovery? Entire ancient cities, some thousands of years older than previously believed, that contain perfectly aligned structures and advanced systems of urban planning. But how could these early civilizations, without modern tools, achieve such complexity and precision? Consider the Maya cities revealed in Guatemala. 60,000 previously unknown structures, including massive pyramids, roads, and even urban centers, all buried beneath the jungle. The scale of these discoveries suggests that the Maya were far more advanced than we thought. Yet the real question lies in how they achieved this. Could it be that these ancient cultures were guided or even directed by beings beyond our planet? The more we dig, the more unsettling the evidence becomes. These discoveries don't just challenge mainstream history, they smash our understanding of human capability. Take the Mayan pyramids, for instance. The alignment of these structures to celestial bodies, the sun, and eclipses is so precise, it's almost as if the Maya had access to advanced technology, knowledge that wasn't available to them at the time. In the dense jungles, new findings show that these cities were not built haphazardly. They were meticulously planned with mathematical precision and aligned with stars and planets. But how could an ancient civilization with no telescopes or modern tools possibly achieve such accuracy? Now comes the most terrifying question. Could humanity's great leap from primitive tribes to advanced civilizations have been guided by extraterrestrial beings? The Sumerians spoke of gods who descended from the heavens, teaching humanity agriculture, mathematics, and engineering. The Maya had an advanced calendar system that still baffles us today. And the Egyptians, their pyramids, built with such mathematical and astronomical accuracy, suggest a knowledge of the stars that humans of that time shouldn't have had access to. Could these gods, these beings from the heavens, have been alien visitors who influenced our ancestors? Could these advanced civilizations have been artificially accelerated by extraterrestrial contact? As we continue to make groundbreaking discoveries, the possibility that alien intervention played a role in our history becomes harder to ignore. If these civilizations had access to knowledge that was too advanced for their time, if their engineering and astronomy were beyond what should have been possible, we are faced with a fundamental question: who or what taught them? In the next episode, we'll explore how ancient cultures around the world, from Easter Island to the Egyptian pyramids, share eerily similar myths of gods descending from the sky. Could these alien visitors have left behind hidden messages scattered across the planet? What is the true origin of human civilization? What if everything you've been told about human civilization is utterly false? What if the rise of our greatest cultures wasn't due to human achievement alone, but because we were helped by beings from the stars? For centuries, humanity has looked to ancient civilizations like the Maya, the Egyptians, and the Sumerians as evidence of our species' innate ability to achieve greatness. But what if these feats were the result of something far more mysterious than human ingenuity? What if, hidden beneath the surface, there lies evidence that could revolutionize everything we think we know about human history and our place in the universe? Could it be that extraterrestrial beings played a pivotal role in shaping human civilization, guiding humanity's greatest achievements? In the early stages of human history, agriculture and city building began around 3,500 BCE, but the leap from nomadic tribes to advanced societies like the Sumerians, Egyptians, and Maya happened so suddenly that it defies explanation. The Sumerians built ziggurats, their first written language, and complex cities, yet their knowledge of astronomy, including star alignments and planetary movements, was far ahead of their time. Similarly, the Egyptians constructed the pyramids, using knowledge of the stars and mathematics that should have been beyond their primitive tools. Where did these civilizations get this extraordinary knowledge? Was it from human ingenuity, or could they have been guided by someone or something outside of Earth? As modern-day archaeologists continue to uncover new ancient sites, like Mayan cities buried beneath jungles and hidden temples that align perfectly with celestial events, we are forced to confront a disturbing possibility. What if the knowledge needed to build cities, chart the stars, and predict the future wasn't human-born, but a gift from extraterrestrials? Take the Mayan calendar, for example. Its precision in tracking solar eclipses and the movements of planets is so exact that modern scientists can hardly match it. How could a civilization with no telescopes and no advanced tools create such perfect astronomical calculations? The mystery only deepens as we look at the ziggurats of Sumer, massive step pyramids that were aligned with the stars. How did these ancient peoples know to build such monuments with such precision long before the advent of modern technology? Could it be that these ancient gods weren't divine at all, but visitors from another world imparting knowledge to humanity? The ancient civilizations rise from obscurity to astonishing advances in architecture, mathematics, and astronomy raises one unanswerable question. Did they achieve these feats on their own, or were they guided by forces beyond this planet? We can't ignore the similarities between the Mayan, Egyptian, and Sumerian myths. All of these cultures speak of gods descending from the sky. But were these gods simply metaphors, or did they represent real extraterrestrial visitors? The evidence of advanced knowledge and sophisticated tools that defied their time is too much to overlook. Could the ancient pyramids, temples, and city grids have been part of an alien blueprint? And if these ancient visitors shape human civilization, what does that mean for our understanding of history and our place in the universe? The truth is out there. We've already begun to uncover it. Ancient cities buried in jungles, temples aligned with stars, calendar systems that still baffle us. The question now is, are we ready to face the reality of what these discoveries might mean? Could our origins be more cosmic than we've ever imagined? Are we on the brink of discovering that extraterrestrial beings not only visited Earth, but left their mark on human history? But the most shocking discovery is yet to come. In the next episode, we'll explore ancient monuments like Stonehenge, Easter Island, and the pyramids of Giza, all of which seem to have similar astronomical alignments and hidden messages. What if these are not just cultural landmarks, but markers left behind by an intergalactic civilization, guiding humanity's evolution? What secrets do these ancient structures hold, and how do they connect to the greater mystery of human history? The truth about our ancient past is closer than we think, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. But the question is, are we ready to face it? Don't let the mystery slip through your fingers. Subscribe to DH History Guy and join the quest to unravel the secrets that could change everything we know about humanity. This is just the beginning. Don't miss out on the journey that will challenge your reality. Hit that subscribe button now, and let's uncover the truth together.